Hey guys, I'm going to explain the vocabulary for this week's story that we're going to be reading. I want you guys to study this over the weekend because on Monday we're going to play a game using the vocabulary words, and if you don't know them, you won't be able to play the game. Okay, so the first word is mold. Mold has two definitions. In science, we talked about the second one, which was a fuzzy growth, often greenish in color, that appears on food and other things when they are left too long in a warm, moist place. But in the story that we're going to be reading, The Dinosaurs of Waterhouse Hawkins, it's talking about a mold, which is a hollow shape in which anything is formed, cast, or solidified, such as the mold into which melted metal is poured to harden into shape, or the mold in which gelatin is left to stiffen. So it's something that you put something into and it will take that shape. So on the left there I have a picture of, if you've ever used clay or Play-Doh as a kid, sometimes you might have had a toy mold. You put the Play-Doh in it and it molds it into the shape of whatever it is. So that is a mold that an artist would use. Tidied. Tidy means it can be used as a verb or an adjective. So to put in order or to make neat. So in this example, I tidied the room. You might want to leave the classroom clean and tidy at the end of the day. If something is tidy, it means it is organized and clean. A workshop. So a workshop is a space or a building where work is done. There's another second meaning there, but we're going to focus on the first one. So up there in the corner I have a picture of an artist's workshop. So that's the place where the artist works, has all their materials, all their things to do their work. That is their workshop. Next is foundations. So foundations are the parts on which other parts rest for support. In this picture there's an example of the foundation of a building or a house that is going to be made. All the time in the city you might see a new building being built, but first they have to build the foundation. The foundation is the strongest part that holds everything else up. Occasion. Okay. So there's a couple meanings for occasion. One is a particular time, like we have met on several occasions, or it can be a special event. The jewels were worn only on great occasions. And in this story, the word occasion is talking about a special event. So there's a picture of a wedding. That's an example of something that could be considered a special occasion. Okay. Next is proportion. So this is something you might talk about in math. For example, a proper relation among parts. So in the example sentence there is, the dog's short legs were not in proportion to its long body. So in that example, sometimes maybe you see someone or something out of proportion. If someone has really long arms, you would say they're out of proportion. Or if they have really, really strangely long legs, but their arms are short, you would say that they were not in proportion. Okay, and then also the second definition there. Proportion is a relation of two things in magnitude, size, number, amount, or degree compared to another. So each gross pay will be in proportion to the others. Again, that's something you'd see like in math. Okay, that's the last word. So make sure you know these words. You maybe want to watch this video again. You can write down the definitions if that helps, because we're going to play a game in class on Monday, and if you don't know what these words mean, it's going to be very difficult. Also, we're going to be using some of the words that we posted on Padlet. So go ahead and check the Padlet page to see if there's a word that you like that someone posted and write it down. So we'll also be able to use that for the game. Okay? Thank you. See you soon.